Hi, welcome everyone to Coleman Report Live, September 14th. We have a all Fountainhead panel today with Chris Hearn, CEO, founder, and Lance Sexton. Welcome back, guys. I don't think we've had both of you guys on ever. We usually split you guys up, but Bob is still on the road, and we love to have you. We have a ton of stuff to talk about, mainly fees and some program stuff coming up. But Chris, I saw your email this morning. What are you doing for Small Business Week? Just give us an update on what you're doing for the industry and Main Street. I know every year you do something big, so tell us what's up.
Oh, that's quite a setup, Joseph. So National Small Business Week happens every year. This year it started, I guess technically it started on Sunday, and it runs for a week. And it's a way for for us to bring some recognition to the nation's small businesses. I know SBA's got a number of virtual meetings / conferences. I think yesterday they had Mark Cuban on. Today it either happened or it's going to happen this afternoon. They have Jennifer Lopez on. And I think they've got a number of other folks. But I just think it's important that we all recognize that, about half of all Americans actually work for or own a small business, which is a really big statistic. And the other piece that's important to know is that small businesses are typically responsible for about 65 to 70% of all new jobs in this country. The big, large corporations, the public companies, they get a lot of the media headlines, but it's a lot of the small businesses that are in the background. It's your community tailor, it's your Uber driver, it's your flooring guy. I mean, just your franchisee it looks like they may own a big company, but really that company franchises, and so they're one of their franchisees. It's all these types of people that are out there that really make up the small business community. And I just think it's great that the SBA recognizes them every year, and they have some of these events going on. I know there's a number of award ceremonies that are going to happen. So it's an exciting time. The small business community's been through a lot in the last 18 months. SBA's been through a lot. The small business lenders have been through a lot. And maybe we can all pause at some point this week and pat ourselves on the back and pat others on the back as well.
Excellent. Yeah, excellent. I have a couple poll questions. Speaking of paychecks and let's talk about PPP and forgiveness. Delaney gave us some stats updated, but let's ask the poll question first. What percentage of the total PPP loan portfolio has been forgiven and paid out? So I'm talking dollar amount, not volume. I think we have a pretty good estimate. Very smart crowd. The answer is 2/3. It's right around 66%. Lance, what do you think about these numbers?
Well, Joe, one thing that Chris said that I think is pretty on point, when we look at what happened in 2020 and in 2021 so far, the economy's actually in pretty good shape given the pandemic. I know it's not as good as we'd like it to be, but if you consider the fact that the money was pumped into Main Street and Main Street has kept people employed, has kept the economy moving. And one thing I want to add, not just during Small Business Week, but all year long, guys, take a break from ordering from Amazon and order online from your small business and have that delivered to your door, or walk into their location and buy a steak or buy a pair of shoes. I come from a long family of small business owners, and the best way you can celebrate Small Business Week is spending some money at a small business.
That's right. I absolutely second that.
So Delaney, I don't know if you're on, but total 6.75 million applications as of yesterday. So the SBA made payments on nearly 6.5 million of them. Almost 550 billion has been applied and 530 has been paid out, and that is the total 792. So excellent numbers. I think it's just going to keep on creeping up. I think the smaller ones are going to really take a little bit more time, right, Lance? I think that's what you were estimating.
Well, they're just large numbers, I believe, and Chris, correct me if you think I'm off track. I think we'll be dealing with the this round of PPP forgiveness probably through the end of the year to get the bulk of things worked through in terms of PPP forgiveness. One thing that's interesting, Joe, I would be curious, I wish we had a poll question. SBA must have knew the statistical data was going to be collected and presented because there was a big flush of payments over the weekend. So they probably wanted more robust numbers there, but I don't know if anybody else noticed it. When you look at your platform, you've got pending validation, and then you have fully approved, and then you have payments sent. Well, those numbers, a lot of the validation and fully approved moved into payments sent over the weekend. So it was very interesting to watch that. But I do think we'll be dealing with forgiveness through the end of the year, and then talking about purchase demand on PPP. I think that's going to start. There'll be a few before now and the end of the year, but the first few months of next year will be very busy with purchase demands on PPP loans.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a good segue into your webinar tomorrow. Anyways, let's go to the second one. Lance and I were in Arlington last week. It was great seeing you, Lance. I hadn't seen you for a while, but
yeah.
SBA did a great presentation. Linda Riley for the 504 side and Rosemary for the 7A side, and they were talking about the volume, and NADCO president was there as well. So the big question was, is your lending institution experiencing delays at the Loan Guarantee Purchase Center due to this high volume? They hinted that the technical issues are being hammered out, but there is some delays. So I just wanted to see what the audience said. And there we go. 57% are saying they are experiencing delays. That's a big number, Chris and Lance, for your operation. So what do you think about that?
Sure. I mean, I know that 7A is being submitted at a couple weeks ago. They were reporting about 6 to 8 weeks to turn them around, which is nobody wants to see that type of delays, particularly when we have such a critical time. We only have about 2 weeks left, assuming the funding remains for the borrowers to take advantage of the fee waivers and the debt relief payments. So it's a little frustrating, but I know everybody at SBA is doing the best they can. And of course, we've suggested it would be great to move some of the contractors over from PPP forgiveness over to helping to underwrite loans. But the problem with that is there's a certain level of expertise involved with this, and I'm afraid there's not enough time to train some of those contractors to really make much of a difference in this regard. So
I would be more than happy if they moved some of the lender or the PPP review contractors over to the Loan Guarantee Processing Center. But yeah, I've heard from lenders throughout the country that it's a little slower than it has been. But I don't want to ruin something you're going to bring up in a little bit, Joe, but there is some information about the fees that are going to be charged in the new fiscal year that might help you prioritize what you send in or put into E-Tran.
Yeah, let's do the last poll question, then we'll move on to the fees, Lance. Lenders are permitted to split loans for the purpose of avoiding fees. True or false?
Ooh.
This is a resounding no. Do not do that. That is definitely false.
Yeah.
Do not split the fees to avoid. Do not split the loans to avoid them. Well, let's get into this. This was presented by Rosemary. Excellent presentation at Mid-America. She zoomed in, so there was a live audience of about 300, and then she was on Zoom with Linda. That's the new reality for, I think, the time being. So she gave us some program updates. SB Express will revert to $500,000 from $1 million. The loans must be approved before September 30th. I think that's why the delays are because this rush. We only have a couple weeks left, and the loan increases will not be permitted to loans that obtain a 90% guarantee with 0% fees. So let's go. These are all the notices. I included 5000-818641 into your handouts. But let's talk about these fees, guys. So Let's see. Go ahead, Lance. Yeah.
Well, this is what I was kind of referring to originally. Going into the new fiscal year, there's going to still be no guarantee fee, no servicing fee on loans under 350. So if your institution has a lot of loans queued up, I do the over 350s first, because those are the ones that will get fee relief if they're done this year. And if you have to push a 350 past September the 30th, they're going to still get the no guarantee fee and no ongoing fee. So, I mean, this is important information to think about over what we've got 15, 16 days left. That I'm excited that they're going to maintain that. I wish it had been a little more robust, but it certainly, Chris, is more than I thought we would get.
Oh yeah. No, I think this is a great change that they're making under their authority, and so I was surprised a little bit by this too, Lance. But I think it's good.
And that last note to the veterans, that's a permanent change for Express Veteran Loans, which is great. So this is the chart that I think everybody's been waiting for. Again, under 350 is 0%, and then 0.49, 0.49, and then what over $1 million is 0.55. This goes into effect October 1st, right, guys? This is the new fee structure.
Yeah, October 1st, the new fiscal year. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the one thing that lenders, and this is a poll question, Joe, that I want you to consider for tomorrow. In the Express program, you could go up to $1 million, which I would be interested how many Express lenders have actually done a lot of Express loans over 350. And the reason I say that, Joe and Chris, is why wouldn't you just, if it wasn't a special program like a revolving line of credit, and let's say it was 500, wouldn't you want to go ahead and get the 90% guarantee by processing it under the regular 7A program? Most lenders would. So I'd really be curious, Joe, how many lenders did Express loans between 350 and $1 million over the last few months?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and ask that tomorrow. This is just a fee. So additional guarantee for extension of short-term loans. When 2 or more guaranteed loans for an applicant are approved within 90 days of each other, the guarantee percentage and the guarantee fee are determined based on the aggregate. Is that a new change?
No.
Okay.
That's always, you've always had a circumstance where if you did 2 loans within 90 days of one another, from the purposes of determining the aggregate loan amount and determining the fees associated with that loan, they're looked at as just like they're one loan.
And again, yeah, you cannot split them. We have a couple questions from Raman. Can the increased idle, the increases that go up to $2 million, that are used to pay the balance of a 7A or 504, even if the borrower pays the prepay out of pocket and not from the idle funds? So can the increased idle loan be used to pay the balance of those 7A and 504 loans? You guys know that?
I don't. I mean, I think it can, but I'm not definitive about it.
Yeah, and originally idle was intended for working capital operational expenses, and I had this conversation with somebody earlier. I don't know if they've changed it. Now, I've always recommended customers that got an idle loan to use a separate business checking account for the idle proceeds so they can document what they've done with the money. But I have not heard that you can pay on a existing SBA loan. So I'm not sure about that loan.
Follow up, can we use the increased idle funds to buy a hotel, commercial property, for an operator?
Another good question, but again, unless something's changed, idle loan funds are intended to be for operational expenses. Chris, have you heard anything different?
No, I haven't. I thought I saw something a couple days ago with the announcement taking it from 500,000 cap to 2 million. I thought there was something in there about being able to use some of the proceeds to pay down existing debt, but I don't know if it includes SBA debt or not. I don't think you can use idle proceeds to purchase a hotel or something else like that.
No.
But, you know, part of the problem here that we're dealing with while we're in SBA world, the issue is in the private sector, not a lot of us know all the bloody details of idle because we don't make those loans. SBA makes them directly.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would recommend whoever that is asking the question to probably go to the SBA's website, spend some time there, or reach out to some of the SBA staff you know and ask these questions. Because
Well, one thing I've recommended, Chris, is that they can put your idle money in one account, use it for rent, utilities, payroll, etc., operational expenses, and what you do with your money in the other account is your call.
Right.
But use the idle money for operational expenses. And again, Chris has given great advice. Go to the SBA website and read the new materials on idle.
Yeah, we're getting a bunch of clarifications. Thank you, everyone, for bringing those in. Lance, we're doing a fun one tomorrow on past due, so you talked a little bit about that. Sign up today or tomorrow. I'd be happy to sign you guys up and give us a little preview of what you're going to talk about.
Well, we're going to talk about what you have to do when an SBA loan becomes past due and discuss some of the critical servicing actions that are necessary. And it will have a little bit of PPP servicing information included as well. So it's a good program. I think as we continue through the end of the year, we'll see some stressed borrowers. And as a good participant lender, you're going to have to know how to service those loans.
A couple housekeeping notes for our closing training attendees, Lance's course. Thank you very much, Lance, for doing that again. A great course. All the quizzes and the final has been uploaded through week 8. So you guys can still sign up for that. It's on demand. It's a great course. And the underwriter course, the next published will be, I think, on September 24th, the next video module. So look out for those. And thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I think Flagel starts on Monday. So Chris, have a great show. Lance, we'll see you again soon. And thank you, everyone, for joining Coleman Report Live today. Join us tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. Thank you.
Have a great afternoon.